What's up, everybody? It's your boy K Brizzle back here with another interesting and not monotone at all video. Here to tell you that you should never ever watch Mac and Me. Mac and Me is possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen. No, let me rephrase that. Mac and Me is definitely the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not joking. I'll give you a preview of what's to come, alright? One scene involves a dance party at McDonald's, an alien in a teddy bear costume, secret agents, and Ronald McDonald himself. Alright, and if that doesn't intrigue you and make you watch most of the video and give me some really good watch time, then I don't know what will. So the story of how this movie even came to be is definitely something else. I found an article from the people over at Thrillist that it has some good insight on what went into making this movie. This film. The article says, by the mid-80s, Ronald McDonald was the world's most famous person ever. Steven Spielberg's oblong E.T. was close, after hauling in $435 million at the U.S. box office. The producer who worked on McDonald's campaigns during his pre-Hollywood advertising years and remained close to Ronald McDonald House Charities saw a biblical opportunity. So my boy RJ was like, you know what? Ronald McDonald, freaking sick, right? E.T., almost as sick. Right? Why not just combine the two so I can make some gosh dang bank? You can tell it's just a blatant ripoff of E.T. The descriptions on IMDb are very similar. The posters look a little similar. Even the music sounds a little Spielbergy. So we're already off to a bad start. Needless to say, McDonald's heavily financed this movie, so there's McDonald's product placement just crammed in random parts of this whole entire movie. So now that we know where this movie came from, what is it actually about? To tell you the truth, I have no idea. I watched the entire movie. I don't really understand it. The movie starts off on this horrible looking planet with some horrific looking aliens. Like, honestly, who designed these things? They look like Dobby from Harry Potter if he picked up crack. So these creatures get sucked up into the space vacuum by some awful special effect. And at this point in my notes, I just wrote, I've made a huge mistake. So the aliens get sent back to Earth, back to the NASA lab. These scientists were trying to, get the rocks out of this NASA rocket, I guess. Also, who are these scientists? Like, what are the people that played these scientists doing now? Clearly, they could never have gotten another job. So are they just like working at like a grocery store and they just randomly have this in their arsenal of conversation starters? So, have you ever seen Mac and Me? No, I can't say that I have. Oh, well, I was one of the scientists in it, so. Oh. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, the aliens bust out of the spaceship and escape the scientists. Well, actually, they don't really escape them. The scientists just kind of let them go for no reason at all. So Mac escapes, and Mac is like the main character, the main alien character. He's like a little kid alien. So Mac escapes from this little NASA place and causes a 3-car pileup. Then he stows away with the main character, Eric, in his car. And Eric is a paraplegic, which doesn't really add anything to the story. The only thing it adds to the story is like one horrific scene that should never, ever be in a kid's movie, or any movie for that matter. But we'll get to that in a second.
It's probably an ADUI.
What?
An alien driving under the influence.
So our boy Mac shows up to this kid's house and starts doing a bunch of weird stuff to make Eric think he's gone absolutely bonkers. They do that stupid trope where it's like, oh, man, there's like some weird things happening. And then they like call like a friend or a parent into the room to come look at the thing that's happening. And then when the parent or friend gets into the room, the thing's not happening anymore. So it makes the main character look kind of crazy.
It didn't do that last time. It stayed on.
Yeah, well, if it happens again, let me know.
This movie's full of cliches. And then after this, their house gets filled with like dirt, I think. Or something. I don't really know, actually.
Michael? Eric? What have you done?
I didn't do it, Mom.
Oh, my... Oh, this is my mother's painting. It's 100 years old.
Whoa, what happened in here?
Everything's ruined.
But then Eric gets sad because his mom yells at him for bringing the dirt in the house. How would Eric have brought the dirt? It doesn't matter. Then Eric walks outside. I mean, he wheels out. He goes outside and hears somebody whistling. This is the horrible sequence I was talking about. So Eric is investigating the sounds when gravity takes the reins and he starts flying down the hill. And then he tries his brakes, but they just break. Then he straight up flies off the cliff. Just flies off the cliff. A kid in a wheelchair flies off a cliff. Luckily, there's water at the bottom, but still, that image made me a little nauseous, okay? I have a heart. You wouldn't guess it by my persona, but I have feelings. So then Mac jumps into the water and saves the cripple who is still in his wheelchair somehow. Maybe Mac grabbed it while he was down there. Finally, at like 45 minutes into the movie, they capture Mac using like some straws. I guess Mac's like attracted to straws or something. And they suck him up in a vacuum, again, with some just... And this is where our story gets a little interesting. So I zoned out for like 20 minutes after that happened. I don't know how we got from point A to point B, but we're just gonna go for it. So when I came to, they were pulling into McDonald's, and there was a dance party happening at the said McDonald's. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to McDonald's. I don't know your fast food preferences, but I go there quite a bit. I mean, cheap food, it's wonderful. Go get some McDonald's today. I've never seen anybody dance in there, let alone a crowd of people dancing. Like a choreographed dance. But I don't know. Maybe McDonald's were different in the 80s. So they go to this dance party at McDonald's, and they go inside, and I guess Mac's in like a bear costume now. So they go in here, and then they join the dance party a little bit.
Feeling? Have you seen my brother yet? He'll be here soon.
And these secret agents come in, trying to take Mac, try and ruin the fun, but not before Mac gets some sick dance moves in. And also Ronald McDonald is there for some reason.
Hi, Coach. How's it going?
I seriously don't. So Mac shows off his epic moves, and then they dip out of the freaking McDonald's because they didn't want to get captured by agents, I guess. So now they're running away from the agents, right? And let's just take a look at the sequence of events that happens right here. So in this shot, Michael's wearing sunglasses, right? In the next shot, Michael's not wearing any sunglasses. In the very next shot, Michael's wearing sunglasses. But wait, everybody. Just wait. Just hold on. In the next shot, no sunglasses. Literally, who watches this and is just like,
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's show that to the public.
Then after the kids escape the government, they're all just chilling at this van. And the paraplegic whines a little bit.
Don't you like him?
So they decide to take Mac. They decide to take Mac back to his parents. Then they find their parents in the desert of like Nevada. It looks like Nevada. Pretty ugly. They find Mac's parents and revive them with a refreshing Coca-Cola. Get some Coca-Cola today. Maybe you could get some Coca-Cola at your nearest McDonald's, huh? How's that sound? Then they all pile into the van and they just head off to somewhere. I don't know where they were trying to go. But they end up at a gas station and the aliens break out of the van. They go into the supermarket and they're just kind of, going shopping. And the dad alien ends up taking the security guard's gun, which like threatens the police. So the police have this huge standoff. But then the paraplegic just like has enough of it and he just goes over to the aliens, and then this cop is trying to stop Eric, and he straight up trips over his car. This is how they're trying to represent the brave men and women of our police force. He tripped over his car. How do you full on trip over your car, dude? Anyways, when he trips, his gun goes off, and it scares Dad Alien. Now Dad Alien's an expert and shoots the gun back, and then the rest of the police just fire at will, and then the store behind them straight up explodes. I don't know the logic of that, but I'm not a scientist. And now Eric is like dead somehow. I don't know. I'm done with this movie. Screw it. So Eric's all of a sudden dead, even though he was like 100 feet away from the explosion. So at this point, it seems like all hope is lost. Eric's dead, the aliens are dead, everyone's sad. And at this point in the movie, I wrote this. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. The aliens are gonna be alive, they're gonna heal Eric, the government guys are gonna see that the aliens aren't that bad, and then they're gonna get like an alien immigrant citizenship. That was my prediction for the rest of the movie. So let's see what actually happened. The aliens were alive. They healed Eric. The government guys saw that the aliens weren't that bad. And then the aliens legitimately become citizens. You cannot make this up. The aliens dressed up in suits and became citizens of the United States of America. And then they drive off in a pink convertible. I hate this movie. Everything about this movie is absolutely horrible. But honestly, what can you expect from a movie that was made by a fast food restaurant?